Hello everyone, Silent K here. In today's video, we'll be looking at all the real-world locations from episode 9 of Yuru Camp. And there are a lot of locations, so we're going to try to go quickly. First up, Rin is driving from her home, somewhere around Ichinose, to Yashajin Pass, which is way north. She has to go around this way originally, but she finds a cut through, which we'll talk about later. So, the first shot takes place a little bit northeast on Route 9, right around here. Alright, so the first shot is actually this way. Shimobe Onsen, you can see Rin coming up from the bridge over there. And then the second shot is the other direction. The A-frame telephone poles in the distance. Intersection. And then we take a left here. It should be this sign right here. You can see Chuo right over her shoulder. And from there, the bridge, of course. Lovely. And from there, the end of the bridge, looking out into the intersection, you can see the red and yellow signs off to the left. And that's her leaving the city. The next time we see her, she is entering Minami Alps, somewhere over here. Route 42 by the river. Right about here. A little off. Minami Alps City. You can see they took a little bit of liberty here. Basically all the fences they used are this kind of loopy fence. They replaced the straight white fence with loopy fence. They replaced this straight white fence with loopy fence. But other than that, pretty much identical. There's also an extra set of power lines in the anime for some reason. Maybe they did some rerouting. Alright. And the next time we see her, she's at a convenience store, which is a Lawson in reality. And that is way up here. At some point she switches to Route 12 and takes a left onto Route 20. So we're going for this guy right here. You can see the identical signage. Storefront's the same, although they changed the blue to pink, I believe. And then from here, there is a sign for the Shiozawa Entrance, which would be like a square in a lot of countries. Shiozawa Entrance. So you can see like they name the squares entrances, so these aren't road signs. All four of them say the same thing. Alright. And next she is inside this little valley. There's some road signs pointing towards Yashajin Pass. Near this little windy road. You can see it curves around. And there's a straight section. There we go. Alright. So we got the blue road sign here, and there's also a close-up of this blue and white sign. Some lovely framing of the houses with all the mountains on the sides. Beautiful. Alright, and next is a little further up. We got this little red bridge coming from this side. You can see the little stone pillar things with the notches in them. And then, a little further up, it shows these two buildings from out past the barrier. Alright, and from here we go to Yashajin Pass, which I'm not even sure if I can find it in Google Earth VR, because there's a bunch of trails that wind up through these trees. You're gonna have to give me a second. Alright, I found it. So we come down Route 20, we pass the hot springs, we go up through all these winding trails here, and then right about here, come on, update. Thank you. Yashajin Pass. There's no 360 photos here, so we'll just have to make do with Street View. Luckily, Street View came all the way up here. We got the tan building. And then here we have, oh, that's as far as we get. Here we have the road closure. You can see, I think, this white sign in the background. Gives you all the rules. There's a freaking dictionary's worth of signs over here, though. Sheesh. Then we have this little sitting area. Got this sign in the show. The little stone sign monument slash thingy behind it. And up there you can see the trail. Those signs are all visible. And the little sitting area. Lovely. And then from here, there is one shot of her going down the mountain. And I did find a similar spot, but it does seem to be entirely a composite. Again, I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to find it, so give me a second. Alright, it should be right to the right of this helipad. Somewhere in these trees. Oh, pretty much perfect. Yeah, I know it looks a lot different than the shot from the show, but this is like one of the very, very few spots that has this zigzag pattern. These retaining walls use like 4 different patterns of tiles, but this zigzag pattern is the only area that this one appears in. And it has the metal fence on top, and it has the 3-wire barrier on the right hand side. It's also the only section with unpainted lines. Like almost the entire rest of the road has these white lines on both sides. So yeah, mostly a composite. Either that or they changed this area recently. And from here, Bean gets back on track at Tsuetsuki Pass, which is all the way up here, south of Lake Suwa. There's a little garden, golf club or something here. And this should be the building that she's at. Looks familiar, looks familiar. And lucky for us, there are also some 360 photos around here. can see the city view. Very blurry tables. And the little sites map sign, that's there too. Well, you can sort of see the sign here. Got another city view, a little more smoggy, a little lower resolution. And I believe there was a third one over here. Oh, beautiful. You can see a lot of detail in that city. A little smoggier over there, but that's fine. You can see the railing Dean was leaning up against. Alright, and from here, we're going all the way down 152. And there is a street sign somewhere along here. Should be right around here. I think that's a shadow right there. Yes, it is. And then we come up across the show's first real continuity error. We see Lin standing by a retaining wall on a road with a white line talking to Nadeshiko for a while about where to go. And then after that it shows her drive by some farmlands, which would be something like this. There's tons of areas that look like this along this road. And then we come up to the pedestrian bridge right around the corner. So I'm not sure where that conversation with Nadeshiko supposedly took place, but there's no place around here with a white line highway, so it did not take place in between here and there. That's for sure. Alright, so next time we see Yudin, she is far away, off at Kozen-ji. So let's take a look at the other places Nadeshiko suggested first. The first one is the Mushroom Kingdom, and it is actually real. It doesn't look quite like Nadeshiko's imagination of it is, but it is real. It was a little tricky finding this place. In the anime she calls it kinoko teikoku, which does mean Mushroom Kingdom, but it's the name of a band, not a restaurant slash amusement thingy, whatever this is. In reality, it's called kinoko oukoku, which also means Mushroom Kingdom. They do have a website, I'll link below if you want to check it out. It's got a lot of weird attractions, just like she explained in the show. I'm assuming there's like mushroom trails around here. You can go pick mushrooms and whatnot. But yeah, that's what the actual building looks like. That's about as close as we can get. No 360 photos. Nice view of the city though. And next up is Senjoujiki Curl, otherwise known as Senjoujiki Circle. And that is right over here. That one she envisions quite a bit better. Where is it? There we go. They do have a ropeway. You can see a tower right there. You can't really make out much more than that though. A lot of 360 photos and street view mapping up here, surprisingly. So you can see the ropeway, the main building. If I recall correctly, we do get to see a tram in here. Slightly different design, but they did use the design exactly from the show. I actually found an image online of the exact same scene. They must have seen that photo and used it for reference, because these trams look slightly different. There were also some nice shots of like green fields and whatnot, sort of like the flowery image from the show. I'll try to find one of those. Lovely. Nice. That is a beautiful shot. Not bad, nice and colorful. Come on, Google Earth. Why is it always one little panel that you don't like to load? Is it blurred for a reason? Maybe it's blurred for a reason. Alright, so we shall check in with Dean, who should be just about at the temple by now. So that is right over here. Kozen-ji. Now this place had a lovely little English pamphlet that I will put up on screen. But before that, we have an establishing shot, which it was right around the corner from the place, actually. Maybe right here. Yes. You can see these two buildings behind Rin. The hedges and the car even. Alright, you can't see much from the street view, but there are a ton of 360 photos, and I made a map to make sure I check them all. And if I see anything that corresponds to the show, I'll show those ones. I'm not going to show them all, because there are maybe a dozen or so. But we'll see what we can see. Oh, lovely. I believe this is the path and the pagoda in the shot. It's a puppy! Giant bell. I don't remember that showing up, but we'll see. Alright, that's all we can get from the 360 photos. And the last place we have to check out is the Hayatarou Hot Springs, which in reality is called the Komakusa Hot Springs. I got this sign outside, and and the actual building is straight ahead. Got the little triangular fence thingy. But that's as good as we can get. No 360 photos inside the hot springs, unfortunately. A shame. Alright, well, that is it for episode 9 of Yuru Camp. Hope you all enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. Please tune in again next time.